Hi guys! Today I'm going to be doing my review of Popples, and I absolutely have to say, first off, I really like these pads. I just got them this morning, and as any of you who watch my TTC updates know, my cycle has been crazy the past few weeks just because of a miscarriage and actually getting my period induced, and it wasn't long enough, so I got it induced again. Yay! Not really. But I freaking love these pads. So, to the pads. First off, these are from a company called Popples. They're on Etsy. They're also known as Pop Commodities. And her pads are the funniest shaped pads I've ever seen. But they are amazing. I wasn't really sure I'd like as much flare, but I've tried one other brand that has a lot of flare, pretty much almost exactly like this. And I'm pretty sure they copied Popples. But this is a really amazing pad and like a genius design. I have two of her 9-inch pads, and these are 2.5 inches when snapped. And one of them is the 3 layers core, and one of them is just the regular 2 layers. And before I start talking about that, the construction of these pads is a cotton top, 2 or 3 layers of flannel soaker, depending on which pad you get. Yeah, and then a fleece back. Sorry. And this pumpkin one, it has 2 layers of flannel, and it is like super thin. I don't know. I guess the flannel is really thin. This is just as thin as my party in my pants. They're super thin, and I have only wore these on like a regular to heavy day. I wore this with a regular flow, and it held up perfectly. Didn't have any leaks. Wasn't a problem at all. So really great and super thin. The other 9-inch pad I got right here, this is the 3 layers of flannel, and it is just as thin. I really can't tell a difference at all in these pads, which in a way probably isn't. She doesn't mark her pads for absorbency, so I'm going to have to kind of be careful and remember which one has 3 layers and which one has 2 layers. Because, as you can see, there is like no difference that I can tell. The orange fleece is a bit fluffier, which is in the 3-layer pad. So maybe I'll just remember fluffy is more absorbent. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm going to remember that yet. The other 2 pads I have are both 11-inch. And I got another Halloween print, and this is that. I thought it was super cute for October. And then I got a more Christmassy print, and this is like a peppermint swirl. And this one right here, this is the regular 2 layers of flannel also, and this is what she considers light or moderate flow. And it held up, again, perfectly, no problems. It's 11 inches long and then 2.5 inches wide when snapped. So it is very nice. And super thin for an 11-inch pad. Like, so thin. One thing I will mention is her soaker only goes to right here. So it is like a circular soaker, and then these parts right here, they don't actually have a soaker part in them, which helps the pad feel a lot trimmer. But it's just like a little bit of added protection. So in case of an emergency kind of thing. But it's not really meant to absorb a whole lot. It's just if you have like a little leak or something. It's just a little bit of added protection. And the same thing for her other pad. This is actually the 3 layers of flannel, and again, super, super thin. Love this pad. Prices vary depending on what size and how many layers of flannel you want for the core and stuff like that. The pumpkin one I got was the cheapest. It was $5.25, and that is for a 9-inch pad with the 2 layers of flannel. The owl one I got was $6.75, and that's for 3 layers of flannel and a 9-inch pad. The bat one, this was the most expensive. It's 11 inches, it's 3 layers of flannel, and it is $7.75, so still a really great price. And then the other, I call this one candy. It's like a peppermint candy. It was $6.75, and that is for 2 layers of flannel in the 11-inch. Overall, love these pads. The only really bad thing and it's not really bad, it's just kind of something that annoys me a bit, is there's no way to tell what absorbency each pad is. It does kind of annoy me a bit. I really wish more pad companies would start putting that on there, because even though I have my pads super organized, and you'll see that in my stash video that I'll be doing in a few weeks, it's just, it's annoying to have to go back through orders and kind of look back to see what absorbency it is. And I've made a list now of like all my pads and the absorbency for the ones that aren't labeled, because I couldn't find any other way to do it, because I have an 11-inch pad of another brand that's a panty liner. So me putting that with my heavy pads would probably not be a really good idea, and could really lead to an accident. So that is the only bad thing. Her snaps are wonderful. They're very snug. I love it. It's not a lot of bulk like some companies. I'll even fold that under, but you can see wonderful snaps. Overall, wonderful pad. Great customer service. I messaged her saying that I was going to do a review, and she was like, you know, you've got to tell me when you do it and make sure to send me the link, because she's like, wants to watch it. So, yeah, overall, love Popples. I'll definitely be buying more, but the only thing I have to say again is the absorbency. So that is one thing just to kind of keep in your mind. But yeah, that is my review of Popples. If anyone has any questions at all, just message me or ask me or do something. Don't be afraid to ask. So yeah, bye.